I've been hearing this debate, have spoken about this debate on stage. I mean, I've spoken at more than 100 universities. And to be frank with you, because I came over from the left, when I first got into this movement, I thought the same thing. I thought, okay, well, I don't understand what the issue is if it's legal
Hmm.
migration.
Yeah.
But I then listened to people and I wanted to understand where people were coming from. And I opened my mind to what they were saying and realized that they were very much correct. And I think that's sort of where
What a good, I don't want to say ploy, but good approach by Candace there. Because I was the same way. I didn't, the takes I have now, you won't even see me with the same takes 2 years ago, probably. What she's doing is saying when I came over or when I kind of developed into this populist mindset, I eased into it. And Michaela Peterson has not. That's why. Without Candace having to say that, I don't know if she's gonna say it now. She doesn't need to. She just used an example of how she's different. She's basically saying you and I are not the same.
you get into trouble with the MAGA movement when you just instantly sweep away and condemn everyone and say, well, some people were saying racist stuff about Indians. And so this entire argument now is based on racism. It simply isn't. Vivek, I personally stumped for Vivek. So if you think that I'm going to be on board with people being
I've spoken very highly of Vivek, Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. I still think very highly of Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. Vivek, I do have questions now because he jumped in on the H-1B visa on the wrong side, not my side at least.
racist for him when I went on the ground with him all throughout Iowa when he was running for president. Of course, I'm also brown myself, but I understand that this has nothing to do with the merits of the arguments that are being presented here. And it is just a fact that the H-1B visa, the majority of the people that are coming into this country are not coming in with any extraordinary skills, are not coming in because they're
I don't like this argument with Candace. I don't care what skills they're coming in. That doesn't, the ones that have high skills and are higher up in these companies, it's even more important. I keep using Perplexity as an example because I use that program. It's an AI program. I use it a lot, just like ChatGPT. And the founder of it is a H-1B visa recipient. These people don't, Elon Musk himself, these people don't understand America. So now you have people like Elon Musk, who was a he was a benefactor of the H-1B visa, telling us that you have the freedom of speech but not reach. And that's the First Amendment. Because you have somebody who either doesn't understand it or is basically being subversive.
are the 1%. It is being completely abused and jobs are being taken away from the American people. Now, Piers, to your point about the MAGA rift, I'm glad to see it. I very much agree with Steve Bannon. I mean, the last estimate that was done, by the way, and this speaks to Michaela, you saying it's just 85,000 people that are allowed annually. Well, the last estimate that was done in 2019 approximated that 600,000 foreign nationals were here on this visa program, all of them being provided with a pathway to citizenship that doesn't include in 2 years you can then get out of that program and become a permanent resident. Okay, so that they're allowed to stay in this country from up to 6 years. They don't apply for permanent residency. Of course, we can assume that the majority of them do, and they're allowed to stay up to 10 years if they go to work for the Department of Defense. Again, all of these applicants have a pathway to citizenship. So you just imagine you're like, yeah, I just went to work in America as a teacher for a couple of years and I became a citizen, or as a janitor for a couple of years and I became a citizen. It's not okay. And I want to be clear all across the board. It's not just the H-1B. There's a ton of visa programs that are being routinely abused. And like I said, I have faith in the American people. I think that the American people can fulfill those positions. I know they can fulfill those positions. And so I am not on the side of Elon Musk and Trump in this debate. And
if they cannot, what is the point of continuing the H-1B visa when you would never fix the problem? So you would never have to fix the problem if you're just outsourcing to these people from all over, who knows, well, 75% of them, depending on the position, engineering and that, are from India, is what I've seen. 75% of them. So what's the incentive to fix it here in the country? So we have people who are actually American. Even with Americans, a lot of them, especially through the college system, are not trustworthy, don't have original Constitution view, but you'll have a higher percentage chance of it. So you can't just say we're going to outsource the problem and then also say, well, we're going to fix the problem. There's no incentive. The way that, and a lot of libertarians, in my opinion, get this wrong, is that they believe maybe ANCAPs. They believe that everything would be solved if you get rid of this. This is my understanding of the take. You tell me if I'm wrong on their opinion, their position. is that if you get rid of the federal government, at least, that private businesses and the judicial system is enough. No, that doesn't make sense. The government is a business by itself. The problem is the government isn't doing the purpose it should be doing. The government gets revenue from tax. It's the biggest business. It's the most powerful business. It is supposed to be used as a check and balance against the power of private businesses. So the government is supposed to be a public business owned a little bit by every single one of us and to fight against the public sector. Instead, what's happening is the public government is now basically foregoing the will of people or what's best for the people and partnering with the private sector. That is fascism. That's the problem that we're having. If you eliminate the public sector, all you have is government, all you have is business, which is private business. All you've done is eliminate what should be the competition, which is public business, which is the federal government. And the federal government is the one that's supposed to say, private businesses, you're using this law that we made as a loophole. We're closing it up, sealing it up, and fixing the problem. Of course, the public arena is not going to work if you can't make it do that. Look at LA. If you can't get the public servants to prepare for a natural disaster, which Donald Trump literally told them how to prepare years ago. We're talking about 2018, 2019, and many others have. Then the problem is you're not controlling the public sector. You get rid of the public sector, the same thing's going to happen. The private sector is going to do worse. The private sector will become the government. That's a classic argument, nothing new there, but that's what we need. We need a government. That's why people voted for Trump. They think he's going to do that. I'm not buying it, but I hope he does. He's supposed to provide the check and balance and say no. Well, obviously on the H-1B visa, he's actually agreed with the private businesses, but for free speech and otherwise, he's supposed to do that, but he's not right now. That's the problem.
And I think that, Elon Musk has been at Mar-a-Lago for a bit too long and thinks that that is the sample of what MAGA is, and it simply isn't. Steve Bannon has been on the ground and spoken to those people for years. He understands what they're saying, and it would be gracious for Elon Musk to kind of step down and recognize that he's simply wrong in this debate.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, you actually posted to me on X, of course, owned by Elon Musk. You said, we'll have to get together in the new year so you can let me finish what I was going to say about Elon Musk. A lot has happened since I didn't finish that sentence. Exciting dialogue awaits. And we did leave people on a slight cliffhanger about Elon Musk. So now's your chance to finish that sentence, and then I'll get Michaela to respond. But I mean, Musk he's everywhere right now, literally poking his head into every country, it seems, in the world, particularly my country, where he's just in the last 2 days, he's called for the king to dissolve parliament, which he can't actually do. He's called for Keir Starmer.
Steve Bannon has been on the ground and spoken to those people for years. He understands what they're saying, and it would be gracious for Elon Musk to kind of step down and recognize that he's simply wrong in this debate.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, you actually posted to me on X, of course, owned by Elon Musk. You said, we'll have to get together in the new year so you can let me finish what I was going to say about Elon Musk. A lot has happened since I didn't finish that sentence. Exciting dialogue awaits. And we did leave people on a slight cliffhanger about Elon Musk.